Ooh, tax season. So with tax season around the corner, I know many of you are thinking, what am I going to buy with my tax return? And then some of you are just like, no, how can I 10x this money? So this video is for the ones who want to 10x their money by starting a business. Nowadays, there's so many opportunities and niches for people to start businesses in and fairly quickly make good money. My name is Sir Derek. Welcome to Journey to a Billion, where we talk everything business, finance, investing, marketing, motivation. So let's just jump into it. As a financier and a deal maker, my job is to help my clients find the most efficient and cost-effective way to start a business or grow a business and then find funding for it. And after working on way too many projects to even count, I've seen how different wealthy people start businesses compared to middle class and poor people. So I want to impart on you some of the things that I've seen that might help you start your business in a better way. So number one, by having insight on opportunities. Most people start businesses in industries that they know. Like if you're a cook, most likely you'll start a restaurant. But that doesn't mean you have an advantage. I've seen this so many times where people will hire me to help them launch or expand their business, and it's an absolute show. And it's honestly because that person who's starting it knows a little too much about that business. They get stuck in tunnel vision into, oh, this business needs to be this way. And they're not entrepreneurs, so they don't understand that you have to be malleable. You have to be like what Bruce Lee says.
Bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
And I'll admit, I have a dream that I've been chasing for over 20 years, but I kept getting in my way because I know a lot about the industry. I had a particular vision for it and I wasn't malleable. So even the best of us go through that. But something I notice more with my wealthy elite clients is even if they knew an industry, they would hire on more people to challenge their point of view, to challenge the plan that they had in place to make sure that it's a good plan and that it can work. And I've actually seen it to where a plan completely changed what the plan actually was. It didn't even look like the same business. So number one, you gotta have more insight, and bringing on people to give you their perspectives and also industry knowledge is one of the best things you can do. Number two, selling the dream is sometimes better than selling the numbers. Now, a big thing I've dealt with, seen, and heard is that a lot of times the numbers don't really matter depending on the venture. Like me, I'm a type of person, I don't want to spend that much money on opportunity. My wife is even worse. And it would seem like if you're going to raise capital, the numbers need to be there. Or if you get money from friends and family, you need to be able to show like, oh, I'm going to return your money. Sometimes that doesn't matter depending on the venture. And you can even show that you're not going to make any money for 10 years in some ventures, like tech. Like for example, I had a client who wanted to build solar farms and sell those farms to big energy companies. Normally a $50 million business pitch like that, you'll want to talk some numbers. But literally, this guy was so smooth, so passionate about his plan and how he's going to make the conversion to renewable energy that much quicker. And it'll lock his company in as a market leader. We didn't even have to go over the numbers before we got commitment letters, like 100% commitment. So in certain situations, you don't have to talk about numbers. That is a skill I've noticed that more wealthy people tend to have. And I do think storytelling is one of those things that anyone can benefit from. Number three, in about 90%, I would say, of my wealthy clients that were not tech companies, most of them have done legwork and set up the dominoes to fall in place. Now, this is something that I believe that more disenfranchised people getting it from the mud actually did. But when I actually started really getting clients and, on all spectrums, I've noticed that now more people that got money will actually put together a lot of the plan and they only need the money to execute on it. For me, this advice came from both me and my wife, getting it from the trenches and being people that overly prepare for things because we don't want to be either embarrassed or we don't think we'll get the luxury of not having something together. But what I've noticed is that a lot of my wealthier clients actually are more nervous around that as well. Now, they're confident and cocky, but again, their actions show that they want to be overly prepared and ready to execute quick. Like, I'll give you two examples. So both clients had an idea to do prefabricated homes. They both had plots of land that they were going to build on. And both of them wanted me to find a solution for them to send their prospective buyers to get the funding for the home. And then the client will pay for the home. And then, of course, they'll start building the home from there. So now client A, he bought the land and it was just raw land. He wasn't gonna do anything to it outside of show people the big picture, big idea. And client B was like, okay, well, he actually didn't buy the land. What he did is he put an option on the land, and then he himself with a small team went out there and they excavated and individually did the plots. They put the little string around, to showcase. And after me and client B was talking, he decided to also put up signs on what the house would look like in that particular spot. Well, it's safe to say that client B sold literally all but like 2 plots on his opening day, where he was showcasing the entire land and the project and what people could do. And it was much easier for me to get him funding because he already had pre-sales, versus client A, who unfortunately 3 years later, he ended up losing the land. And the crazy thing about it is I connected both the clients together and gave him some advice on what to do and everything, and he just didn't want to do it. One of the things that definitely people got to start doing more is preparing their business, doing some legwork. But those are 3 things that I've noticed as a financier and deal maker over the last 6 going on 7 years that more wealthy and affluent people do versus everyone else. And if you want to start a recession-proof business, you should check out my other video. We're talking about 3 recession-proof industries that you can get into now. And please remember to like, subscribe, hit the noti bell, and enjoy the outro.
I guess you wonder